Hi, and welcome along to AFTV News Daily. We've got with me Stricto today.
Yes, Robbie.
How you doing, man? Long time no see, bro.
I know, man.
Is this since Nigeria? Since the trip to Nigeria?
No, I think just after, I think the end of the season, I think.
Oh, yeah. The last game of the season.
Everton.
Yeah,
Everton.
Haven't seen you since then.
You see, Robbie, you've been hiding from me, man.
Now, I understand that you've got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
Right, you got your phone with you.
Just in case, man.
Right. So what are you saying? It's due any time now.
If you lot see me ping out, you know why.
Seriously?
Yeah, like that. She's ready. She's ready.
Wow. So due any time now, yeah?
Anytime, man. Like, I mean, that 9 months is, it's flown by, And how many signings we made since then?
Oh boy. Well, listen. Want to talk today about the fact that we're in that transfer time at the moment, and first of all, Lisandro Martinez. That was the player that it looked like Arsenal were going to be in for. The player from Ajax can play left back, can play as a centre back. This is primary position. Also a defensive midfielder. A few weeks ago, Arsenal made their move for him. At that time, it was around about £30 million that were being, seemed like that would be able to get the deal done. But unfortunately, since that's happened, the price has gone right up. I think Arsenal's last bid for him was around about 43 million plus add-ons. Manchester United have come in big now. Of course, he used to play at Ajax with Ten Hag. Ten Hag knows him. And now it looks like that deal is over because Ajax and Manchester United are talking. It's very, very far down the line. And it looks like he will become a Manchester United player. So Arsenal are looking at other targets. Yeah, I noticed today that we've been linked with a couple of left backs. This morning on my transfer show, there was another Ukrainian we were being linked to. We're also being linked today with a guy called Sergio Gomez, who's a Spanish under-21 left back. Who plays for? I forgot who he plays for now. He plays for Anderlecht. He used to play. I remember him. He used to be at Dortmund. Decent player. But the big news really is the fact that it looks like Arsenal are after Alexander Zinchenko, another Ukrainian of Manchester City.
Makes sense.
What's your thoughts?
Makes sense. If you're talking about Martinez knowing Ten Hag. And you got to talk about Zinchenko knowing Arteta. You know,
true.
There's a familiarity there. Arteta will know how he works. And most importantly, I think, Arteta is showing that you can't rely on Tierney. I think he's probably looking at that and thinking, at the course of the season, how many times am I going to use Tierney? And I really think we need to actually go for 2 left backs. I think we need to get a backup. 2? Yeah, I think we need to get a backup. I don't think...
Well, this is the backup. I think if
he's not coming to do backup. Do you know what I'm saying? And also...
So then, but we'd have just bin Kieran Tierney?
You can't bin him, but if the man's...
So why would you need 2 backups?
If he's not playable, then who's going to be the backup for Zinchenko? He's not reliable. That's the problem. He's not reliable. I think the stat last season was like, is it like 10 games in all competition he played last season? Like something like that. You can't.
No, it's more than that, surely.
Something like that. It was really low. It was really, really low, and you can't really depend.
2 backups. There's no point in having a player if you need 2 backups.
Listen. He's not coming like he's not. We're not signing him and saying you're the backup. But we need a backup. So
you think Zinchenko would come straight in and start?
Of course. The man's quality, man. He's a quality. Don't get me wrong. Tierney's a quality player, but even prior to his injury, he weren't really having the best of season. He was having an okay season, but not the kind of season we've come to to expect from him. But I think honestly, we need to get another backup.
All right, let me just, it was David Ornstein who broke this news earlier on today, and this is what he put. He put exclusive, Arsenal working on a deal to sign Alexander Zinchenko from Manchester City. Club in talks. Manchester City are open to a sale if the valuation is met. Arsenal would also need to agree personal terms Versatile 25-year-old, now a priority for Arteta after missing out on Martinez. Would be a lot cheaper. I mean, I think when I've seen valuations before for Zinchenko, it's been around about the sort of £20 million mark. That's no more than 25 million. He's Premier League ready. He knows the Premier League inside out. He's a winner. He's won, titles, various titles with Manchester City, and he's a versatile player. He can play in midfield as well. For the Ukraine, he plays more as a creative midfielder. And I'll tell you what, when I've seen him play in that position, he's looked really, really good. But you're saying that if he came in, Kieran Tierney would be number 2 to him?
Bro, Tierney can't stay fit to even have this conversation, bro. Like, the reason why we're getting...
Harsh.
No. The guy cannot stay fit. Is his injury record. And over the years, if you look at the players that we've had and players that we've been patient with, I think we've got to kind of change and start being brutal. Like, if you can't stay fit for a certain amount of games, bro, someone else is coming in.
Yeah, but
I would even go, as controversial as much, so I'd even go as far as selling him, if I'm being real.
Selling Tierney?
I'm telling you, Robbie. I'm telling you, we've got to start moving ruthless now. We've got to start moving ruthless. We are into the third season of the rebuild. Like, all of these injuries aren't helping us. You got to be cut.
Let me remind you. I'm going to remind you now, right? Before there's quite a few super chats, so I'm going to get into some of them and some of your comments, right? Let me remind you of something.
Go on.
When you say that.
Go on.
We used to have another player. Questions are a bit like a quiz. Let's see how long you take to get this, right?
Vampy.
You got it already. Remember him? Always injury prone. Always injured, yeah? Then we got him fit. Yeah. He had an unbelievable season, and then he went. And then did we not regret that?
But the difference is we signed Tierney injured.
And he was worse injured than Tierney.
No, but we signed Tierney injured.
If I remember rightly, even when we got Van Persie, he didn't start playing straight away because of injuries as well.
But Van P, it's different because Van P still had a lot of competition in front of him. He still had Henry, he still had Adebayo. All these guys were in front of him. This is our central...
Yeah, but not to sell him.
I would sell him. I would. No, Robbie. This is my thing is, I think as a fan, I have been patient for so long with so many players, and of course it's not their fault they're getting injured. But at the end of the day, listen, it's not helping the team. It's not helping the club. So you just got to kind of be ruthless.
Let me ask you guys if any out there in agreement with him. Ali Salman says between them, Zinchenko and Paqueta can cover left back, left centre mid, right winger, left winger, CAM, F9. That's 6 positions covered by 2 players for £80 million. Smart business, if you ask me. Of course, we've been linked with Lucas Paqueta as well. I'll talk to you about him later on. Nelly says, I just found out that... let me just read over this one.
You don't want to get...
I'm not sure if I could... I don't know. There's something behind that one.
Forget.
I have to be careful how I read that. I just found out that...
don't read that.
Yeah, right. It's something to do with Zinchenko at the end, but I'm worried, right? Zelk says, I think we should sign Paqueta, Zinchenko and Tielemans. Be all right with that?
That'd be great.
And Benny says Zinchenko was the best player on the field in the World Cup playoffs at centre mid. Sign him at all costs. So happy to face Wales instead of him in the group. He's class. Benny, of course, our American fan. Big up, Benny. Mars Smith says, if we sell Tierney, what if Zinchenko gets injured? We need to strengthen the squad, not just the starting 11. That is what cost us the Champions League. And Shooting Pro says, let me ask you, Robbie, if Tierney wasn't injured last year, would we have made top 4? Yes. I think we would have done.
I mean, that position, it's one
it weren't just him. I think Partey being out as well. But I think it was a big reason because there was a couple of games when Nuno Tavares came in where he's a little, and I think Tierney would have been more solid. And I think where I kind of agree with you is that I think Zinchenko, I'm really putting Zinchenko there. I think Tierney at the start of the season, he didn't start great. No. But then he grew into the season and he was playing well, man. He was looking solid in defence in particular. And we did miss Kieran Tierney when he got injured, definitely, without a doubt.
I mean, yeah,
it's
of
a
course,
quality player.
Experience, you know, it offers so much, you know. And to be honest with Tierney, like, he's not a player that gets beat often. You know what I'm saying? You've struggled to find a lot of people that get change off of him. You know, but I think we need to really address the fullback situation, even the right side as well. You know,
here we go.
Tomiyasu. You know, but the thing with the difference with Tomiyasu, I don't think he was given time to recover.
Tomiyasu was injured.
I think he was
out for quite. He was out for quite a long time as well.
He was being rushed back.
I think you know what? A lot of times we forget that as well, and this is why you need a good squad. Yeah, we forget that. We went into the final part of that season. There was no Tomiyasu, who'd been brilliant at right back for the majority of the season up until when he came back towards the end. He still didn't look himself, did he?
Because he wasn't fully fit.
Yeah, but he'd been brilliant.
Yeah.
And you had Tierney, who, as I said, started a little, but then he grew into it was looking a solid back four. Remember, we had a really good defensive record. Then them two went, and even though I felt that Cedric did all right, to be fair, but he's not defensively. He's not as good. No?
Nah, not having him. I'm sorry.
He did all right.
I'm not having him.
He did all right as a person who came in and covered. I thought he did all right. He didn't let the team down.
I think maybe he had a game or
just like Mohamed El Neni came in. He's not at the same levels as Thomas Partey and that, but he did all right, didn't he?
He stepped up. He did more than all right.
So I think it was the same with Cedric.
I think I disagree with Cedric. I think Cedric, if you think
you're only saying that because El Neni's like one of your favourite players, and you've been singing his praises for years. I remember that time. It's one of them games you were tapping me. Yeah, see what I tell you about El Neni? What I tell you about El Neni? Yeah, I know you, man.
Bro, look at his goals, though, man. Look at his goals.
What goals?
What? Just missed the goal in the pre-season the other day. The guy only do bangers.
Bangers.
He's a drummer.
Yeah, bangers. It was a brilliant goal, and you're right. He does only score bangers, but I want to see more of that.
That's all he does.
But he did step up, to be fair. But so did Cedric.
I think Cedric stepped up in 1 or 2 games, but I think the rest, he was a bit suspect, taking foul throws, flipping, being caught out of position. Like, it was the...
Yeah, listen, you know, he's not Tomiyasu, is he?
No, he's not, but this is what I'm saying. But we need these... You need to get backups. You need to get good backups. Not just get a player who's going to play a backup, but you need a good backup. You need to
I saw somebody today saying that we should keep Bellerin.
Oh, hell no.
No?
Hell no.
That's why he's as controversial as usual.
Hell no.
Obviously, that baby being on the way hasn't softened him down a bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But okay, we'll come back to that. But Joey AFC largely says, "Big up AFTV. I wanted Arsenal to get Zinchenko." Mustafi's marketing agent says our defence was falling off when Mustafi began to be benched. And he said, I fell off and left. Shref says Zinchenko would be a great signing. Maybe Arteta wants him as he can be moulded for other roles. And he's still young. Wonder how Manchester City have become a selling club. Well, listen, they've got enough players in those areas. Javan says, make Zinchenko and Tierney compete to start and as cover. And you still have Xhaka and Tavares if there are injuries. Also, Zinchenko can cover injured centre midfielders. Makes sense. That's true. You've got Tierney there. If worse comes to the worst, I think Nuno Tavares. I think if we get Zinchenko, he's definitely going. With Marseille are really heavily in for him at the moment, and I think a loan might be good for him. I hope we don't sell him, but I think a loan. And you've got Xhaka who can, if worse comes to the worst, fill in there.
And also, I think you also got to remember we've got to make the announcement when you talk about versatility.
They're going to get rid of him as well.
You reckon?
Yeah. Which is true. He's a versatile. He can cover right back and left back. Yeah, you are right. Yeah. Manpreet says, I would prefer Zinchenko over Martinez any day. What about you? That is sort of coming back to that. With the Martinez thing, my Man United guy, mate, he called me up. He said, yeah, Robbie, man, see, look, we outbid you, blah, blah, blah. He was running up his mouth. And I was like, you know what? I'm not stressed about this one. It would have been nice, Martinez. He looks, when I look at his, everything about him, I'm like, I think he would have suited Arsenal. But I'm not stressed about Arsenal not signing him. I feel that at £50 million,
that's a marquee.
I think that's a lot. Yeah, to me, for a player, and I was saying this to Turkish the other day, there's no guarantee he's going to start.
Of course not.
For me, I'd rather Arsenal take that £50 million and go and get Lucas Paqueta and then get a Zinchenko. It makes more sense to me. But I don't know how you feel. Or do you look on it and say a player of Martinez, he was Ajax's player of the season. You know, I was chatting to a guy over in the Netherlands the other day who works for 433 magazine. He goes, Robbie, he's a really good player. But 5'9" in height in the Premier League, playing as a centre-back. He played centre-back for Ajax. 5'9" as a centre-back in the Premier League. He'd have problems, wouldn't he?
That's like, I might as well get Ty in there. Might as well get Ty.
I think he's a bit better than Ty.
Well, they're not far off in height. But nah, listen, at the end of the day, I think you got to kind of look at it like this, yeah. If United sign him and we ain't getting no one, then I'd be upset. But the fact we are linked with someone else,
yeah,
you know, it kind of softens the blow a little bit. And like someone who's, like you said, Prem ready, you know, someone that the manager knows very well, who knows the manager, who knows what Arteta would demand from him and so on. You know, like this guy, you don't know, a lot of players who have been proven in other leagues come to the Premier League and they flop. We see it time and time again. You know, you might go United and might struggle at United. Do you know what I mean? The Prem is different.
It is different. Edgar says, sign Zinchenko, solid cover. Cobra Kai says, Manpreet says, Lamptey as a backup at right back. Lamptey's been more injuries than Tierney. Yeah. Vede 1987 says, wanted Zinchenko all along. Bless up from Philly. Yeah, that's like me, you know. I kind of... Right from the start of the window, when we, it became clear that we want to get a left-back cover, I looked at Zinchenko and I said, there you go, that's it.
Yeah.
20 million or whatever it's going to be, round about that. If he wants to come to Arsenal, remember, and going back to those rumours from David Ornstein, listen to what he says in there. City would be open to selling him as long as their valuations met, which are, if Arsenal have got £50 million to spend on, Lisandro Martinez, if they had about £45 million, I don't see why that would be a problem. But he also goes on to say, if the player wants to come. So it's what Zinchenko's feeling as well. Does he want to come to Arsenal and play as a left back? He might want to go and play, because he's always really fancied himself as a central midfielder. He might want to go somewhere where he plays in that position. I've noted, of course, that West Ham have been a club that's been very heavily interested in him. They haven't really made their big move for him.
I mean, you're Zinchenko, it's all up to you. Where do you want to come London, for Oxford Street, you're all the Mayfair.
Well, we don't want him down Oxford Street too much.
You know what I'm saying? Well, you're going to come to these places, like, it's pretty much the centre of Europe. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, you're not getting Champions League football, but you get to play in the best team in North London, second best team in London. I'll be honest, Upper Man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you get more. You'll get more recognition playing for Arsenal.
Of course, much bigger
club than the other clubs.
James Hendry says Fabio Cannavaro was only 5'9". Yeah, that's true, and he was an unbelievable player. But right, I just think
Italians
at 5'9". in the Premier League, you will struggle. Teams mix it up a lot more over here. They'll go aerial. They'll play on that.
Yeah.
That's just my point of view. If he played as a centre back, I think Arsenal were going to buy him to play left back. I don't think, and he would have been a cover for Gabriel if he got injured. But
50 mil to be covered.
And Name says Robbie not having that. He said, Robbie, I'm not having that. Martinez had better aerial stats than Maguire and Varane last season, which I've seen that written as well. That's not a very good comparison, is it? It may be if you're a Man United fan. Maguire and Varane were both awful last season. But in the Premier League, I'm still saying, and I'm still sticking by it, that if you're 5'9" as a centre-back, I'm not saying that you can't play in the Premier League. Of course you can. But you're going to have issues. I'd be a little bit concerned for a player playing as a centre-back 5'9" in the Premier League. I'm sorry.
Against Brentford,
Ivan Toney,
and them man there. Even what's his name?
Playing Newcastle, Chris Woods. And, every team, as a matter of fact, you've got a lot of teams, right, that will just mix it up and change it up. Now, the one thing about Lisandro Martinez, I'm not being salty, and when you read about him, right, he physically and that, he's a tough cookie. His nickname's a Pitbull.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the physical side of it, I don't think, when he ends up at United, they're not going to have a problem with that. It's that aerial. Yeah, he can leap.
And United struggled with that last season.
Yeah.
They were struggling. I think they conceded a lot of goals from set pieces last season.
Akis says, what do you need Paqueta for? He said, can we stop signing players in positions we don't need? We already have Odegaard, Fabio Vieira and Emil Smith-Rowe who can play as an attacking midfielder, address the midfield and left-back, right-back cover. Paqueta is a midfielder. Now, so Paqueta can play... Lucas Paqueta can play... he can play centrally in midfield. He can play attacking. He can play deeper. He can also play on the left and the right. He's left-footed as well. For me,
Arteta loves that.
We want strength and depth in that midfield as well.
Yeah.
I would not be against the signing of a quality player like Lucas Paqueta. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that midfield area does need. I think you got to look at. I think a lot of areas do need addressing. You know, like it looks all right, but you kind of got to look at the teams of what other teams are doing. You know, you got to kind of push. You know, you got to make positions competitive.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
so it doesn't hurt.
And with quality as well. And this guy's like, he's a Brazilian international. He's a regular in the Brazilian team. He's not even like he's a big part. He's more of a regular than, you know, even a Rafinha. Yeah. So, you know, Sam says, let's hope all this Rob talk on Martinez doesn't come to bite us in the arse when he scores a header against us.
Typical, innit? Typical.
Yeah.
Typical.
Set piece. Martinez!
Ain't scored in 2 years.
Yeah, and then, from a header, and then everyone's clipping me. Yeah, look, 5'9". Yeah, Robbie. I can see that happening as well, you know. I can see it happening. Please, no. Manpreet says, to all the salty Man United fans watching, if Arteta wanted Martinez, he would have gone all out. We're linked to Zinchenko before Martinez. Well, hold on, wait a minute, Manpreet. I think we did want Lisandro Martinez. We were the first club in for him. We were in at 30 million to start off with. They said no. We then went bigger and bigger and bigger until it became quite evident that he wanted to go to Manchester United. We can't deny it. He wanted to go to United. He played under Eric Ten Hag for Ajax. He knows Ten Hag. We know, of course, United's a big club. The minute I saw United coming for him, I was always worried about it. And I was saying that if he could persuade Martinez to come to Arsenal, it'd be a big coup, because for him to then turn down Ten Hag, who he played for, you know, would be, you know, but listen, it's not the end of the world, because I'm with you, Stricto. Zinchenko, for me, I would be perfectly fine.
But we're saying this now. Imagine if there was a coup and like he's coming Arsenal and all.
If he would have come to Arsenal, all right, let me ask you like in this way. If he would have come to Arsenal, Lisandro Martinez, would you consider that a marquee signing?
For the price, it would be a marquee signing for the price.
For the price, but were you big on that name?
Nah, I wasn't, I'll be honest.
I'd consider it a very good signing. I wouldn't consider it a marquee signing. No. It's an expensive signing. A bit like Ben White last year. I didn't consider Ben White a marquee signing.
But yeah, the price.
Ben White was an expensive signing. Ben White made sense. Ben White is an England international that has a potential to be, but I don't consider Ben White a marquee signing. I consider Lucas Paqueta or Rafinha and people like that a marquee signing, although you said to me you didn't want Rafinha anyway.
Nah, I didn't. Not for the price they were talking about. Like, you know, you kind of look at his numbers. He's not far off. Like I said, Pepe.
His numbers were good.
Yeah, they're good, but
like
Pepe, bro.
Nah, he was better than Pepe by a long way last season.
Pepe got a chance. Listen, yeah, like I think Leeds were asking for 60 mil.
Yeah,
like they
didn't get that in the end. They got 55, I think, but. It's because he definitely wanted to go to Barcelona, but Chelsea put 65 million down on the table.
I mean, Chelsea have got plenty of those kind of players already, but Chelsea have also got money to do that. You know, they just spent they bought him out for 100 mil to send him back on loan. You know, there's some clubs that when we're having these conversations, you leave them out because it's different for them. Do you know what I mean? But for us, like, no, I wouldn't have been happy with that. Like per se, I wouldn't have been angry at it either. But just for the price, I just think, nah, you can look elsewhere, man.
But you're comparing him with Pepe. He was much better than Pepe last season. Much better.
Because he played more.
He's much better than Pepe every season since we've had him.
He played more. I think Pepe just
Funny enough, I saw Leeds today being linked with Pepe.
Yeah, I saw that. I was talking, but it's a bit crazy how that's going. But nah, listen, Robbie, like, I think we still need three or four more players, you know, kind of in every position. You know, I still think we need a striker. Mm-hmm. I still think we need a right back.
I'm with you on the striker thing. I'm very, very happy with the signing of Jesus.
Yeah.
I think it made perfect sense to keep Eddie, but I still think we need another striker. Different type of striker. Yes. Someone else who does.
A Giroud type.
Yeah.
You know, a big guy, a holder of the ball, someone link up.
Yeah. But who's that player?
Giroud. Bro, I don't. Do you know? Yeah, it wouldn't be such a bad thing. It wouldn't be such a bad thing.
Nah, that's done now, man. It
wouldn't be such a bad thing, you know. Since we're going backwards, you know.
Shrev says, don't mind if Arsenal don't sell Bellerin, Ainsley, Torreira, Leno, Pepe, Tavares and Reece, because they'd all be great cheerleading the squad. Imagine them on AFTV watch along. So I think he's taking a mick here. Saw that today about Bellerin, as I said. Torreira as well. What's going to happen with Lucas Torreira? Linked with a move to Valencia. Apparently Valencia want him. They've got an agreement with him. But he was taken on the tour with Arsenal. Suggestions that he could be given another chance, but I still think he'll be sold. What do you reckon? Sell him?
I mean, if you're talking about him going on a tour, you wouldn't risk an injury bringing him along with you. I think they might be giving him a second chance, you know. The midfield situation that's currently going on, without going too deep into it, might be called in to, to keep the midfielders that you have on tour. Honestly,
move on.
You don't think so?
Move on, man.
I mean,
he's never settled. He said it himself. I'm not settled in England.
I wouldn't be against it either. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be, but just get good money.
Would you sell? He said Bellerin, Ainsley.
I'll keep Ainsley.
But he's not going to play, is he? Really?
But the injuries,
and he wants to play all the time.
The injuries that I think with Ainsley, he's got to kind of take that midfielder dream out of his head and just focus on being a fullback. I think if he has that, he could potentially be a star. He could get a good running, but I think with him, he wants to play midfield. Leave that dream, bro.
Reece Nelson?
Sell him.
He had a great season on loan.
Sell him. Use that to sell him. He hasn't. He's had chances.
He's a player, actually, that apparently Mikel Arteta says is going to give another chance to. He wants to see him, what he can do in the Premier League. Bro. Had a great season with Feyenoord. They got to the final of the Conference League.
Nah, even that game we didn't play particularly. I was watching.
Yeah, he didn't play great in the final.
I mean, I'm not gonna stick him onto one game, but I'll stick him onto how long he's been at Arsenal. In that time, players younger than him have come through and held their positions. Saka's come through. Smith Rowe has come through. He's the older of those guys. You know what I mean? I think it's time to kind of
sell him.
I'll sell him 100%.
Pepe. Shref mentions.
Oh, man, I'm keeping, man. I'm keeping Pepe.
You love Pepe, don't you?
No, do you know what it is? I think because I see the potential, and I feel like
we've been seeing that potential now for about the last 3 years.
But he's never had the chance. I think.
Why has he not had the chance? Is that down to him?
I'll tell you why.
Is that down to him not delivering?
I'll tell you why. There was a time when he was doing well, and what's my guy? William.
Yeah.
William was just holding him off. And we could see William weren't doing nothing.
It's always somebody else's fault.
Robbie, let's talk about it. Like when he had his chance in the team, he played well. Even scored a couple goals. Next game, William came in. All for what? William to cut his contract and go. Things like that. They set a player back. They kill your confidence. You're doing what you have to do in training and on the pitch, but then someone else is getting it looking over.
Can you depend on him? Is he a reliable player?
That's a good question.
Is he a player you can trust? Because that's how you start games, yeah? You start games because the manager trusts you, right? He's not trusted, is he?
He's not trusted, but you've got to give the man the chance to prove it to you.
I'm trying to remember that game last season. I spoke about it the other day when he came on.
End of the season, I think. Towards the end
he came on. There's about 15 minutes to go. Arteta's at the side saying to him, obviously saying to him, Nicholas, nothing stupid, yeah? I think we were winning the game.
Leeds,
playing at home.
Leeds or United?
It might have been Leeds, you know.
Leeds or
It was
United,
one of them games,
United.
right? We're winning the game, right? Nick, go on. Listen, don't do nothing stupid, yeah? Do your thing. Try and get us another goal, but nothing stupid, Nick, yeah? We said yes. Yes, boss, we. Man goes on, right? It's about the 90. We're going into injury time. He goes and commits a stupid... First of all, he holds on to the ball too long.
Yeah.
Commits a stupid foul right on the edge of the box. The team... Somebody in the chat will remind me of the
game.
Of the game.
Yeah.
The team get a free kick right on the edge of the box. I think it was Villa, you know.
Was it Villa?
Right? And then I'm sure it was Villa. And then Coutinho. He curled a free kick in. It just missed just by a whisker. That would have cost us the 3 points of the game. You can't trust him, man. Yeah. That's the problem with Nicolas Pepe.
He just needs to be coached, you know. He's just
coached? How old is he?
Yeah.
We're talking about under 13s or 14s here.
We've seen other players come and they, you know, adapt their game. I think when I say coach, I mean like adapt. Tell him to cut out certain things. You know, focus on what you're really good at. You know, like only thing that frustrates me about him, as fast as he is, he likes the ball at his feet too much. Like he doesn't like to run in behind. I feel like if you can tweak those little things there, we'll have a play on our hands, honestly.
Yeah. All right, Anthony O1993 says, can you admit that Rafinha was not an Arsenal type player? Who wants a player who isn't committed to the club and force a move 1 to 2 years later? I had this argument with Lee Judges. He was saying, he don't want to come to us, he can go. Okay, there's a lot of players sometimes that maybe that's not their first choice destination, but that don't mean you ain't going to come and be good.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Bernardo Silva wanted to go to Barcelona last year, stayed, was still brilliant for City.
I mean, I think
they didn't turn around and say, "I'll get rid of him. We want to go Barca."
No, I think that argument is kind of redundant because when you play for a club and you want to go to the next club, the only way you actually go there is by performing with your current club.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only way that's going to happen. So there's an incentive to actually do well at that club you're currently at so you can attract them other clubs.
Ash says Paqueta is the perfect Xhaka replacement. Top 4 is more likely with him in the team. So he's not against the Paqueta thing. Yasavi Go says, any idea how good Sergio Gomez is? Fabrizio said we're interested. I heard that he's from La Masia, which of course is the Barcelona academy. He is a quality player, still young though. Spanish under-21 international, was previously at Dortmund, now at Anderlecht. It's okay. I think I'd rather a Zinchenko in that position. Again, I think he's potential rather than the finished.
Ready-made.
Yeah. TB says, Robbie, wake up. Lisandro Martinez was being bought to play as an inverted left-back. Arteta wants inverted fullbacks that are solid defensively so he can play with 2 attacking 8s like Odegaard and Paqueta. And you've got a point on there, right? Great point, TB. However, corner comes in or the ball's being swung in, and, you know, if he's playing as a centre-back, because remember, what we were being told is, yes, he'd probably be brought into play as a left-back and maybe an inverted left-back, but also as a cover for Gabriel as a centre-back. So let's say season starts, Gabriel gets injured, right? And he's the person that goes in there. It's a 5'9" centre-back. That's all I'm saying. We'll have to wait and see how he performs in the league, but I'd just be a bit worried about it. I'm not saying that he wouldn't perform. I'm not saying he's not going to perform for Man United in that position, but I'd be slightly worried
him and Haaland
with that height. Herbert Wilson says, Robbie, AFTV not coming to Baltimore is a disgrace of the year. He says in a Thai voice. He says, love AFTV. Really sorry, Herbert. Now listen, this is the choice that I face. He can't come for starters because he's on call. You know what I mean? His missus could call him any minute and say the baby's dropping and he's got to fly. He's got to say
out of here.
He's out of it, right? For me now, this is the dilemma that I faced, right? My daughter's graduating tomorrow from university. I'm really, really proud of her, right? And you got that graduation and all the celebrations and everything that's going on. I just couldn't, man. I couldn't. But the game in Baltimore was on a Saturday. Yeah. I explored it. I just was not going to be able to make it.
I got a private jet.
Even a private jet, I'd have been struggling, you know, if I could afford that. You know what I mean? No, it's just fallen at a really horrible time for me, and I'm really sorry. I've never been to Baltimore. I've been to Washington and that, but I've never been to Baltimore, and I really wanted to come, but unfortunately, you know, in this case, you know, there's no way I could duck out of this one. I'd be dead. I'll tell you, my daughter would never talk to me again. So, but I will be there in Florida. The whole crew's going to be there in Florida. So, sorry, Herbert. Danny says Ivan Toney would be class. I'd have him.
Different striker.
Plan B.
Different striker, yeah.
Abdullah says, always wanted Zinchenko over Martinez. Premier League proven. Arteta knows what he's getting. No surprises. Much cheaper. Dutch League has a lot of Premier League flops. Haller. I thought you said Van Dijk then, but it's not. He said Van der Beek.
Okay.
Ziyech. That is very true.
Yeah.
He can also cover as a DM. You know what? That's very true. I was chatting to, I keep saying this, right? But I was chatting to this guy the other day, and, you know, he's Dutch expert for 433 magazine, and he was saying that very same thing, saying wicked player Martinez, but Premier League different animal. Different animal, man.
You know, there's only
you're not playing AZ Alkmaar. No disrespect to them, Herenveen, NEC, all these teams. I mean, a lot of those teams. You know, I'm sorry, they'd be championship teams.
Facts. Facts. It's facts.
Premier League, every single team you play, stacked with internationals. It's a harder league. It's quicker. It's more physical. I think Lisandro Martinez, based off of what I've seen, is going to be good in this league, but there's no guarantees that Van der Beek, like he said, some of them examples he's named, Haller.
Haller was the worst.
And then he's gone back and went back to Ajax, banged in the goals. Yeah. I think he's gone to Dortmund now. Yeah. Ziyech.
Yeah.
Good examples.
Chelsea fans will agree.
Memphis Depay when he came.
Memphis Depay, yep.
You know? I mean, listen, there's been some success stories. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk.
Dennis.
You know? Dennis Bergkamp, you know what I mean? I was going to pronounce that. Farda Hanyasa. Hope I pronounced that right. He says, players are linked with Arsenal. The fans will say those players are quality signing. But once a player signed for another club, right, Arsenal fans say that those players would flop. What a joke. Now, listen, I'm not saying that at all. I think Lisandro Martinez looks like a quality player, and he could be a quality player. My only concern, as I said, was the height thing.
Aerial.
It's been real. Benny said...
But he is right, though. We do that.
We do that. Yeah, we do that. Lisandro Martinez, yes, man. World class. Brilliant. He's going to Man United, eh?
The one who's
short. Remember, 5 foot man, short man. He's not playing that rubbish. Lisandro, who?
Not good enough.
We do that a bit, to be fair. We're fans of it. Benny says, Pepe is world class. I'm about to fly over and defend him. No, he's not even saying it sarcastically. So Benny says, Pepe is world class. I'm about to fly over and defend him. He's not world class. He's not world class.
Where are you flying from, Benny?
From America. Benny lives in America. He's not world class.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
He's not.
Good player.
He's got outstanding talent, but he does not show it enough. Leachy says 22 million bid for Zinchenko, imminent, rising to 28 million. You're probably right there. You know, by the time City have done some great business, hasn't it? And they got 45 million for Jesus, or 1 year left on his deal.
50 mil for Sterling.
55 mil for Sterling. Yep. 1 year left on his too. So, you know, because they've always got quality players to sell.
But you see what I say, like 1 year left and they're cutting ties with quality players. Why do we struggle to do this?
Because they are where they are. They're at the top. 637 Bailey says Pepe doesn't suit Arteta's playing style. Quality player, to be fair. I think we'll struggle to sell him as well. You know, we were talking about this off air. I think
price, innit? But you were saying off air that would struggle to get 20 mil for him.
Yep. 20 million, 20 to 25 million max we get for Pepe. What do you think?
In a weird way, I kind of have to agree with you because I know how we sell. But I think, you know, he's
what do you think he's worth?
30 plus.
Let me see. You know what? You've got this transfer market, which is always a good site. Let me go on and see what they value Pepe at the moment. Always a good indicator. Right. Nicholas Pepe.
His numbers ain't that bad.
Transfer market. Oh, sorry. Bear with me, guys. Bear with us a second here. Right, here we go. Nicholas Pepe valued at 22.5 million. Told you.
That's really low. Like, and his age as well. He's still quite young.
He's still 27.
He's still quite young.
Should be in his prime now. Yep. Martinez saw Don's death stare and decided not to join, says a young gunner. Febin Stories says, Robbie, height means little. Look at Maguire. Shrev says, players I mentioned in the super chat before are good for only one thing, staying off the pitch, taking pom-poms and cheering our squad from the sidelines. Bob Marley says, Robbie, why aren't you talking about Thai woo-woo-woo-woo to America, please? Like you said, he's the same height as Ty Martinez. Name says, last season Martinez had better aerial stats than Maguire. Yeah, but you can, I don't know, man. Premier League is different, man. Maguire's not a good person because Maguire had a horror season, didn't he?
Shocking. I'm sure if you look at most defensive stats, Maguire probably tops it at the bottom, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have a great season.
Edward Chester says, delusion on AFTV is hilarious. Player turns you down, but your backup is better player. What a joke. Zinchenko isn't in the same league as Martinez. How do you know that?
It must be a United fan.
How do you know that? Listen, I'm not being salty. We wanted Lisandro Martinez, and I would have been happy with him. But before Lisandro Martinez became a thing for Arsenal, I was saying get Zinchenko. Made perfect sense to me. Why go and spend that big money on... Because for us, we want him more as a left-back. Yeah. For me. So, and have you seen enough of Lisandro Martinez to know that he's better? And I don't know, what position is he going to play? Is he going to play as a centre-back?
We've seen Zinchenko. We've
Premier League proven,
time and time again.
Premier League proven he's won like everything, apart from the Champions League.
Not YouTube clips. We've seen Zinchenko. I've seen him at the Emirates, seen him at Etihad,
Travis says, bottle Rafinha, Martinez, and you'll bottle Tielemans and Zinchenko. Will reject you. Small banter club. All right, Travis, what club do you support? Let us know. The Rafinha bottle Chelsea, I guess, as well, because they ain't got money either. Come on, man. If a player decides that he's going to a certain club, there's not a lot you can do about it. You know what I mean? He's determined. Kevin B says, I'd be happy with Zinchenko for half the price. Proven Premier League performer in 2 positions. We're okay at centre-back and left-back already anyway at first-team level.
Yeah. You really can't argue with Zinchenko.
Yeah, Jack Buckley says Zinchenko is a leader as well.
Yeah, he's captain of his national
captain
team.
of Ukraine.
Yeah, I mean, ticks all the boxes, you know what I mean?
But Cabello says Martinez is class, you Arsenal clowns.
To be fair, no one's not saying he's not class.
No
one is not saying he's not class. But if you've got an opportunity to sign a player who's already proven, who knows the manager already, and the price is cheap, way cheaper, almost half the price. You go for that.
Yeah, Colin says, I loved what Arsenal are doing. Every position should be competitive. We still need Tielemans. Remember, he can score. Now, I'd rather Arsenal go and get Tielemans. Rather than spend that 40, 50 million pounds, right? You could possibly get Tielemans and Zinchenko for just over that you'd spend on Martinez.
On one player.
In a player that we're not even 100% sure he'd start. If Tierney's fit, we're not sure he'd start. If Gabriel's fit, he's not starting over Gabriel.
And I forgot, also got
so go and get Tielemans for me. Get Tielemans and Zinchenko. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And we've also got Saliba.
Yep.
Who'll be fighting tooth and nail.
Rob Holding's still in there.
Rob Holding, oh boy.
I forgot you're not a Rob Holding fan either. Only El Nenny's your only fringe guy you absolutely love. This guy's he's always been going about El Nenny for years.
But and I'll always go on about Elneny as long as people still telling me Xhaka is better than him. I will always go on about Elneny because he's not. I haven't seen it yet. I'm yet to see it. Is he quicker than? Is Xhaka quicker than Elneny? No. Is he more physical? No. Is he?
Yes.
He's not more physical. He's not more.
Than Elneny?
Xhaka's weak in that middle. He's weak in that middle.
He's not.
The only thing going for him is everyone says experience. He's experienced.
Good passer of the ball.
You will be
Brilliant passer of the ball.
He's improving.
Scores bangers as well.
Here and there, not all the time.
Same with Elneny, here and there.
I know they don't play to score bangers, but when he plays, he scores bangers.
I tell you, you should be
his agent.
Part of his, yeah, you should be. You should be. You know what I mean? You'd probably be pushing some stories to the papers, you know what I mean? Elneny wanted by Real Madrid, you know what I mean? £50 million bid made to up his wages.
All I know, Real Madrid will take him because he scored at New Camp.
I do like him. Listen, I do like him. I said at the time, I go, we shouldn't sell him. We shouldn't sell Elneny. Keep him he's a great squad player.
Great.
But he's not better than Xhaka. I don't think so. Anyway. AMT says, we're here from you guys. AMT says Zinchenko is like Gabriel Jesus. Didn't start in most games for Man City. At Arsenal, he will do very well.
I mean, you mentioned the quality that City have. You know, City play players out of position they just have that quality. Do you know what I mean? You know, we obviously not nowhere near City. You know, the fact we can even get players that City don't want, you know, just tells you how far the levels are. Do you know what I'm saying? But so far, right now, he'll slot in nicely with what we're trying to build, with what Arteta's trying to build. You know, and you can't complain with the price.
Searching says Arsenal penny pinching FC. Not this summer. 45 million for Gabriel Jesus. 34 million for Fabio Vieira. Bought in Martinez, Matt Turner. Still looking to bring in more players. They're spending a lot of money. Last season, 150 million. It's not penny pinching at the moment. They are going.
And spending it wisely.
Yeah. Obviously, Kieran says, Stricto had me until he started talking about Elneny. He goes, SMH, he's almost 30 and he will never be more than a 5 million backup.
Well, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. And the 5 million backup is better than a 30 million starter. Nobody can convince me any different.
Manpreet says, Elneny plays for the badge. Always in high spirits. We love it. He does. He always does. ISG says Zinchenko only worth it if he can support the midfield and he can play in that position as well. Yeah. Austin Harding says, honestly, all these supporters of other clubs coming at Arsenal are just mad that we are having a good summer. Let Edu and Arteta do their work.
I agree with that. Let them work. Don't stop working. You know, the work's not done because, you know, we've got certain players. We still need, like I said, I think we still need 3-4 players more and, you know, in the right area, and I think it would be a very good window.
Nazim says Hossein Aouar, remember him?
Oh, God, that brother. What's happening with... I swear, yeah, there's a clause that says this guy's name must be mentioned every transfer window.
Let me see what he's valued at now, right? Again, lots of us wanted him, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I remember you.
I wanted him. But, you know, that became a circus. Do you know what I mean?
He's not really done nothing since then. Oh, his name's not even coming up.
Just put Aouar, let's see.
Oh, here he is. Hossein Aouar of Lyon, of course. Valued at £22.5 million now. He's really fallen off, hasn't he? At one time, he was looking really, really good. At the moment...
What were they asking for initially?
Remember, Arsenal were after him and they were saying, listen, we won't sell him for anything less than 45, 50 million it was. Now he's worth half of that. That's why some of these clubs have got to be careful. And his contract, I think, is up next year as well.
But a lot of these clubs do tax the English clubs a lot more.
Oh, definitely.
Do you know what I'm
saying? Joseph NG says, Robbie, thoughts on Koulibaly, Ake and Kimpembe joining Chelsea and Spence joining Spurs. I'm worried, Robbie. Yeah, Jed Spence on the verge of joining Tottenham. The right back who played at Forest last season.
It's a Middlesbrough playing it.
He was at Middlesbrough, yeah. He looked good. Remember, against us, he tore us up, man. Good. Tottenham, what do you think of their business? They're
doing good business.
And like the guy saying there, Koulibaly, Ake, Kimpembe.
I mean, Chelsea have done well there. You know what I'm saying? Sterling, you know, Rudiger's gone, and straight away Koulibaly to replace him. Like, you know, Koulibaly, 2 seasons ago, people talking about 70 mil.
Yeah,
to
100 mil at one time.
There you go. You know, he's a very
1 year left on his contract as well.
I mean, it's a great business. Just his age, though.
31, though.
This is the age.
That's the only doubt.
Yeah.
C-Law AFC says, Robbie, bar Jesus, name a player we've signed that's a direct upgrade on the players we had last season. He said, I'll wait. Well, we've only really signed Fabio Vieira, right? And we have to wait to see. I think we have to wait and see. He's a top prospect, so he could be. And then remember with the other players we signed, Martinez is a prospect, and Matt Turner is coming in as a backup goalkeeper. So we know there's more players that we need to bring in. But I think so far it's been a decent window. Yeah,
no, so far, you know, but it's only a great window if there's new additions coming in. Like, I don't think you can just leave it as here. Like I said, I still don't think we can secure top 4 with a strike force of Jesus and Eddie.
I'd still like to see another striker.
You know, I would love to see another striker in there.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna. I think what they're thinking of is that if they don't get another striker in, they're getting a midfield player that scores goals. So that's probably was the thinking behind the Rafinha thing. Bit like what Liverpool do right across the front three sort of thing.
I mean, listen, you're going back to what Tottenham are doing. You know, Tottenham are doing shrewd.
Yeah, they've been doing some good business.
Some good business.
You can't lie about it.
And see, here's the thing: Tottenham are preparing for the Champions League. That's what Tottenham are doing. They're assembling a squad to go into the Champions League. So ultimately, it was always going to be above us because
we missed that big.
We missed out that Champions League. And I think if we got the Champions League, the signings and the speed of the signings would be a lot different. We'd probably at this point talking about having 6-7 players come in already if we had the Champions League.
I mean, Lisandro Martinez had the option of also in the Champions League or just going to Man United with just to play under Ten Hag. Might have chose Arsenal. So Champions League miss was massive. Ice G says, what would the weekly wage be for Stricto at left back?
And you know, that's the thing, you know, man's left footed, you know. I've got the coldest left foot, you know.
You left footed?
Yeah, man. Left footed, you know what I'm saying? Left footed, but you know.
Can't even stand up on it.
But yeah, you can only. Hey, Robbie, don't start. You know. I've seen you kick, Robbie.
Hey, hold on, wait a minute. Was you there when we done the penalties?
I wasn't there, but I watched it.
I was the only one who scored.
Bro, the goalkeeper was like 8 years old.
No, that was when Ty took the penalty. Did you see the penalty he took? He took when we did the Claw Cup.
No.
There's a girl in goal. She's about 5. He took a run up from. He took about a 20-metre run up, sprinted in and blasted it into the corner. I'll tell you, this guy's evil, man. Hey, Graham Tulloch says, big up from Yard. Big up yourself, bro. He says, Zinchenko is a downgrade to Martinez, to be honest. I prefer Grimaldo, cheaper and better in defence. No, I'd rather Zinchenko. Proven in the Premier League. Proven.
And one thing people have left out, champion. A Premier League champion. Like he's
multiple times.
$1
million Gaming says, watch him from the beginning. Stricto, good luck, bro. Of course, Stricto's on. He's got his phone there. He's on call.
Yes, you know.
But
I ain't even checked it yet, you know.
How are you going to get from here to Essex in
flying, bro?
By the time you reach there, man, you know what I mean?
Might get your private jet, Robbie, man.
By the time you reach there, she's had twins.
Oh boy, I have to do DNA because last I checked, they weren't twins.
Josh says, what do you think about United's transfer window? 3 signings and De Jong close. They're close to. So what will United be? De Jong. Martinez, I don't know a lot about him from Feyenoord.
Yeah, that's 3.
Yeah, that's the 3 signings and De Jong. Going with a lot of Dutch, man. Yeah. Going with a lot of, you'll get obviously Ten Hag, he's from there. It's not your usual Man United, going for Lots of big marquee names.
Do you know, I thought United would be a lot more busy, you know. I thought, they'll be splashing, but it looks like Ten Hag he's trying to be
sensible,
economical.
If you're being real, it's probably the right approach, because United, they've done all the Galactico things over the years. It ain't worked, has it?
No.
So trying to get players that are going to fit what he wants to do is probably the right thing for him to do. So probably a decent window for them so far, with Lisandro Martinez coming in as well. Dinham says, would you see 5th and a Europa League win as a success?
Yes.
Yeah. We'll be back in Europe.
Yeah, that's back in Europe and a trophy.
In the Champions League and a trophy.
And a European trophy at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that right now.
Tottenham will take that. I think anyone other than the top. City will take that.
City wouldn't take.
If they got to Europa League,
they want the Champions League.
They will snap Europa League. They will snap. They've got to my knowledge, they've got no European credentials. To my knowledge, they will snap that.
Nick Score 74 says Fabio Vieira and a protective boot, and he's put laughing emojis. What are you laughing for? I mean, I must have been, when I saw that, I was like, oh, here we go again.
The usual, hey?
Coming injured again.
The usual.
It says, can't wait for the spin when Zinchenko goes elsewhere. There'll be no spin from me, because I've been saying from time that I think it makes a sense to sign him.
I'll be pissed.
So there'll be no spin from me. It would just be, but obviously...
There'll still be a little spin, but...
obviously as well, though, players move elsewhere sometimes. You want them. Rafinha, there's no spin for me. I wanted him. He's gone to Barcelona. I would have been absolutely gutted if he went to Chelsea. I'm glad he has not gone to them. But I think he would have been a great signing. I know you didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't care. And that's not a spin. I genuinely didn't care.
Yeah, I think that would have been a good signing.
Yeah, now for sure, man. If we win Europa and come 5th.
Huh?
If we win Europa and come 5th, that's even 6th.
Yeah, Jude says, to be fair, the Europa League is a must. Arteta will be on the wheel if he doesn't win. I think he means that's it. He'll be gone.
Out of there.
Huh?
Be out of there, man.
King Darwin says, this... I lost it there. This Stricto and Robbie duo is actually good.
Cheers, man.
I think they thought you were going to be terrible.
Yeah.
They can't be talking about me.
The bald-headed brothers. the bald brothers. You know, I see a lot of comments here. People are like, oh, that's Robbie's younger brother. I always see things like that. Not like you, man.
Arsenal could spend 200 million this season, and if they land all their targets, Kroenke is splashing, says Billy.
You can't. That's what you want to do. That's what you want your owner to do. You look at what other owners are doing. That's the least they should be doing is splashing. Don't you think?
Yeah,
that's the least they should be doing.
It's a big club.
Yeah, and if he's doing that, then no one's got nothing to say. That's what he should be doing. That's his job, as Roy Keane says. That's his job.
Doc says people are acting like Zinchenko is ripping it up. He's a backup left back, and we're hyping him up like he's Roberto Carlos. We're not. We're talking about him coming in and still being a backup left back.
The whole package.
He strengthens our squad.
Yeah,
it's what we need to do. Strengthen the squad. You looking forward to the game at the weekend? Arsenal taking on Everton over there in Baltimore.
Yeah, man. If I can watch it, I will. Or like I said, obviously, man's got daddy.
You could be watching it. You could be watching it in a ward.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You know what's funny? Someone asked me the other day, like, what would you do if she was giving birth and it was a Champions League final? I was like,
answer this carefully.
This is tough.
She might be watching.
This is tough. Like, Champions League final don't come around too often. I already got 3 kids already, so yeah, now Champions League final all day long. You can make kids. Kids are easy to make. Making Champions League final, that is difficult, bro.
You missed the birth of your baby.
I've seen birth of all of them already, man.
No, you missed the birth of your baby to watch the Champions League final.
Yeah, Robbie. 2006, the last Champions League.
You'd be dead. What about after that final?
If we lose it, that's a thing.
No, but what about after that final? You got nowhere to live.
That's all right. Do you know, there's some things you got to make sacrifices for. Do you know what I'm saying? There's just some things you got to make sacrifices for.
It's like the Baltimore trip. I said to my daughter, I said, yeah, okay. you know your graduation thing? What if? She said, Dad, before you even go any further, if you're not there, I said, no, I was going to say, I'm going to be there, you know?
That'd be liberties, though. Like, you're doing that for a friendly. I'm doing Champions League final. Nah. She would understand, man. She knows me good enough to understand. I'm saying this, yeah, and she's probably raging watching this, like, this guy's embarrassing me.
I want you to clip this, right? Production team, make sure you clip this, right, so it can be played to his missus, right? And let's see if next time he comes back in here, what energy he's got. He'll probably creep back in here. Oh my, Robbie, man, why'd you put that out? Why'd you put that out, man? You know where I'm living now? On the streets. You know what I mean? I've got home bare
Back to the streets.
I've got home bare black bags outside my house.
Imagine that shit.
All right. You know what? We've run out of time. Otherwise, I'll do a poll. Champions League final or the birth of your son or daughter?
Jeez.
Right? But we haven't got enough time to do it. We're going to have to do it next time. Last couple super chats here. And all the chats that have been coming in, absolutely amazing. Thank you for all the likes on this video as well. Godly says, I'm a City fan. If you want Zinchenko, pay up. He'll play in the midfield under Arteta, I'm convinced. That would be the reason he joins Arsenal. And Contra says, if Arsenal don't get top 4 this season, who should be blamed, the board or Arteta? You have to, the manager, innit?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if he's been provided,
the manager always,
if
you know,
he's been provided all the resources, then you got to look at him, innit? And I'm sure he's the one who's identifying the players he wants. So, yeah, Arteta.
Yep. And obviously, Karen says no. This duo has to be a regular thing. Rai Relo says the birth isn't on repeat.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Who said that? Relo. Yeah, Relo, man. You're real with it.
And let me just do a couple. There's so many laughing emojis in there, you know. Let's see if I can get one more. Stricto. Can you hear the Champions League music? He says. We're laughing.
Yeah, I can. Just not for us.
Oh my gosh! Listen, we come to the end of the stream. Stricto, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I know you're on call at the moment. Let's, you know, let me know when the baby's born. You know what I mean? I hope. Any names?
Nah, we're keeping on the wraps right now. You know, we've got a couple names, but we're not 100%.
You got boy name, girl name?
I know what I'm having. I know what we're having.
If it's a boy, could call it Alexander.
Oleg.
If it's a girl,
Alexandra,
yeah.
Come on, Arsenal.
Big news today. Arsenal linked to Zinchenko. Not just linked, apparently in talks with Manchester City over signing Alexander Zinchenko. Could it happen? We'll have to wait and see. I'll be back in the morning with Transfer Daily. Thank you very much, Stricto. Thank you very much to you guys out there for tuning in as usual today. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Big up to everybody over in the States. I'm missing Baltimore, I know. Listen, I'm not running risks like him of being killed, right? I will be at my daughter's graduation, but I will be there for Florida. Looking forward to it.